When we've been working in coffee for a while, when we see a new espresso machine, we can all be guilty of putting it in a box without really thinking about it. Is it big enough for a cafe? Is it for an office or for home? And whilst each of those situations has different needs, what I want to do today is think outside of those boxes. Right now, for lots of reasons, our whole industry is rethinking how we grow our business, asking who our customers are and learning more about what they need. We've spent the last 15 years watching specialty coffee grow, change, and mature, moving from a super passionate niche market of baristas to become the recognizable standard of what quality coffee is. As more consumers' expectations have been raised, it drives new kinds of businesses into thinking about the coffee they want to serve. Instead of us working primarily with baristas opening their own cafes, now we're working with chefs and bakers, bartenders and office complexes, all of whom want to be serving great tasting, progressive and sustainable coffee. And that puts us in a challenging place, because a lot of the training we've built in the past has been based on the idea that the barista will spend all their time immersed in their craft, implicitly understanding every detail of the coffee. But now we need to be able to fast-track clients with all kinds of business models to be serving incredible coffee without compromises from the very start. And in a much more mature and competitive environment, we, specialty roasteries, need to demonstrate total understanding and mastery of our product, the coffee we've worked so hard to source and roast well. And we need to ensure that it really delivers on our expectations, whoever brews the final shot, and wherever they are. Typically, roasteries install big commercial machines in showrooms as demo pieces, replicating the look of big cafes, without considering that the needs in a roastery are different. That these machines aren't performing the job they were designed for, keeping brewing temps stable with old technology across a long line of customers. After taking a long time and a lot of energy to heat up a lot of water, we're wasting all of that. We're using a fraction of their capability to run a few shots through a grinder. Prima, with its small size and huge capability, opens up a whole range of possibilities, especially when it comes to recipe development and sharing. Now, maybe the first thing you learn when you're first working behind bar is that there's a basic recipe for the average espresso. This much coffee, this much water, this many seconds. But maybe a few shots in, you learn the bigger lesson, that every coffee may have a slightly different recipe, and a truly exceptional espresso is about the details you do differently. The technology in this machine allows you to create a detailed record of the shots you're pulling in your roastery, making consistent, repeatable changes to yield, pre-infusion, and group temperature on a small machine running off 13 amps with a small water tank right next to your roaster. You can run these shots with your roasting team, taking live feedback and locking in both a shot profile and a roast profile that work together, which your broader team can then replicate on other commercial machines. This ability to share is particularly valuable to a specialty roastery. The fact that Prima's group is just as stable as those on a large multi-boiler machine means that the configuration you've added to the library can become the starting point for your clients' baristas to use when they first receive a new origin or blend from you. Through the app and Bluetooth connectivity, you can share a recipe with a site using a 3-group Eagle One, or with 100 small offices all using a Prima in their kitchens, and instantly remove a whole series of variables. Prima brings new tools to the table in managing one of our biggest challenges, achieving consistency at scale without compromising quality, whether your client's a high-volume specialty cafe or a very different business that just sees quality coffee as integral to its wider offering. And it's not just consistency, but communication and conversation. By sharing these parameters and including origin information and flavor notes, we can build and share a picture of how we're experiencing a coffee here in our roastery. If a client is brewing shots of a natural bourbon from Guatemala using a recipe that I've developed, and they're tasting mangoes where I'm finding pineapple, we can have a really interesting conversation. We can better understand differences with our grinders, with our water. In fact, I can run identical water to them from a tank to replicate their experience more closely. And we might begin to better understand each other's flavor vocabulary, each other's preferences, ultimately build a stronger relationship. And all of that is just focusing on one of the opportunities Prima offers to a roastery. It doesn't begin to cover things like setting up individual training stations for professional courses for small groups, or the flexibility to serve coffee at the highest level at events or pop-ups without worrying about power needs. The ability to put the most progressive brewing technology in reach of non-specialist businesses, that's really exciting. But for me personally, it allows us to share recipes and experiences with baristas anywhere in the world. Prima helps us redefine what a specialty roaster and even specialty coffee can be.